guest of the evening. We're going to bring on the beautiful Yvette Schell. How are you doing tonight, Yvette?
Good, good, good. Hi, everyone. How are y'all?
We're from Texas, y'all. What's up?
Yep.
So awesome, man. So excited to have you on. We had you booked at one point. We moved you around a little bit when we switched our format from weekly to monthly. So thanks so much for being patient with that.
Oh, it's okay. I know how things are.
You rock, dude. Well, I wanted
Yeah.
to have you on tonight to introduce the world to you and all the wonder that you are. You've been such a positive force in my life and so many people, Yvette, and I just really want to share you with everybody because that's what we're really about on this show is sharing positivity, overcoming adversity, and you're one of those people. So we had to have you on here, man.
Well, it's a great pleasure, to come on here and share this with you all. I mean, I'm honored.
You're such a sweetheart. So you are a rock star here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you are super busy singing backup and dancing for Crueligan's, a tribute to Motley Crue, and Rebel Yell, a tribute to Billy Idol. But
Yes.
you've been involved, likely, with music and dance for a very, very long time, I would bet. So I was
Yes.
thinking, let's take us all back to little mini Yvette and tell us like what first got you attracted to music.
I've been this way since I was 2 years old, just always dancing around the house and just always dancing, always moving. And my mom, I would drive her crazy. And so she put me in gymnastics just to get all the energy out. And I just, I just started from two and then it just went on from there. And I started in high school. My first freshman year, I started, and I've never taken a dance class in my life. And I just love to dance. So I thought I'd try out for the dance team, and I made it. I was the only freshman on there. And I, started choreographing when I was 15. And then I just continued with it for the time being. Then I took time off and kind of retired a little bit, then went back into it again and started dancing for a semi-pro soccer team and doing halftime shows. That's where I met my husband, Dominic. And then I came here and voila.
That's so awesome. Like I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, you're a freshman and you're choreographing routines, and I'm like, how do you even like come up with that stuff? Like I see stuff all the time, and I'm just like, especially at such a young age. Was it from watching anyone in particular that kind of gave you ideas, or is there someone that was an inspiration to you?
um, I watched a lot of Solid Gold.
Yes, that is awesome. Like the
A lot
best
of
answer
Solid Gold.
ever. That's awesome.
Yes, and I've always wanted to be a Disneyland dancer. When I was younger, I was always like that was one of my dreams was to become a Disneyland dancer.
So, like, when you talk about the Disneyland dancers, I think of the people that are dancing around the castle, like during
Yes,
that
and
show. Or is it like the parade? Is it like any of that stuff?
yes, I wanted to do like the parade and where just along the street where the castles are and stuff like that. I just wanted to dance. That's it. I just wanted to dance. I didn't care where they put me. I just wanted to dance.
That's so awesome. Did you ever audition for Disney?
I didn't because I moved to El Paso at a very young age. And I'm originally from Huntington Beach, California. And um, well, when we'll go back to why I moved to El Paso, I have a learning disability. It's dyslexia. It's dyslexia, and I struggled with that my whole entire life. And so that was the reason for me to go back to El Paso to get better schooling, to get tested and stuff. And so that was the main reason why I could never be a Disneyland dancer.
Oh wow, yeah. And you know, we talked about this earlier. You were telling me that you
Mhm.
actually knew that there was something wrong at a very young age, like when you were in first grade or something. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, my first grade teacher, Miss Rock, actually, and, she talked to my mom and told her, "I think you really need to look into her. She's having a hard time," the first time I read a book was upside down, and,
Are you serious?
that was the only way I can read was upside down. I could not read right side up, and so,
Wow.
um, it was for me, it was normal. For everybody else, I was a weirdo.
Right, right. Gosh, it's well, in you could probably give a much better description of what dyslexia is, but
Mhm.
you think of it as you get kind of like you're reading and you put like a couple words later in front of the word you're on or something like that, so you get kind of
Right.
words turned around. But the fact that you're saying that you actually turned the book upside down and it helped you to read, it's just like that's such a like a scramble in the brain happening for that to occur.
Yep.
Um, can you do your best job at explaining what dyslexia is?
Well, there's all different types of dyslexia. There's some people have it with reading the English, the words, the letters, and some have it. It's hard for like math, numbers, um, comprehending a little bit slower, a little bit, comprehending the work and stuff. By the time the brain um, registers everything that you've read, and it gets frustrating sometimes, like reading books and stuff, if you're not comprehending the first paragraph or whatever, and you can't comprehend it, well, you get frustrated because you're like, oh, I got to read it again. And so it's quite frustrating, but it's coming out more and more, with a lot of kids and stuff, and so they're handling it more and they're testing more, and everybody has their own way of being able to work it out and make their life easier, to make it, school easier, actually. It's a struggle, whoever has dyslexia, and
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of people out there that have it and
right.
just didn't realize it, and
Varying
they're just
forms.
realizing it now, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. That's so crazy. And so for you, did you have trouble with numbers at all, or was it just words?
Um, Actually, numbers are really hard for me. Numbers are hard for me, but reading, because I've trained myself, I've learned my way of comprehending and reading and getting on track and understanding. So, I mean, it takes time, it gets frustrating, but you know, I've learned to overcome it. I'll always have it. It'll always be with me. Um, I just know how to deal with it. And
Yeah. No, that's
everyone's different though, and anybody that has it, like, my whole family does. My kids are dyslexic. My
wow.
husband's dyslexic. All four of us are, and it's kind of funny because everybody like deals with it their own way, and but you can overcome it, and just there's always a will, there's a way. You can do anything, doesn't matter. There's
Yeah.
plenty of actors and actresses that are dyslexic, and they look at where they're at,
Yeah,
they're
no doubt.
actors.
Yeah, they're like fame and fortune kind of things going on. So everything is still fully possible. Do you find yourself like not into reading as much as like somebody else might be? Like is it just more of it like is it just more work for you to read so you choose not to read, or do you like to sit down with a book?
I I have to find something really, really interesting for me to read. And that'll catch my attention. If I start reading and I don't comprehend it the first like 4 or 5 pages, I'm done. And
Yeah, you're
I'll
like,
go get
thanks,
another
but
book,
no thanks. Yeah.
and then I'll find
Right.
something interesting, and I'll read. I'll read at night, and kind of just, that's practice makes perfect. So, it helps out a whole lot. So I do try to read as much as I can.
That's cool. That's very cool. So that was the
Yeah.
main reason you moved to El Paso was for better teachers, I guess. Then.
Yep. Yep.
teachers that were well versed in dealing with dyslexic folks and
Yep.
help you out. And so there your Disney dreams were dashed. I can't say that very
Yes,
fast. There
but
your Disney dreams were dashed.
y- yes, sadly, but it's wonderful because I'm still able to do, what I love, and I'm so fortunate and so grateful that I'm still able to do it, you know. Um Physically, it's getting harder.
Dude, I know how you feel. A little bit. I kind of have an understanding for this problem.
You understand.
Yes,
Why do you
yes.
think I have all this workout stuff that
I
I can't even
know. We have
post?
to stay in shape, man. It's no joke. I mean, and you're a dancer and you wear these like really cool outfits that wouldn't be caught dead in because I have just enough extra to where that would be a bad idea for me. So, I mean, you are solid physique happening, girl. Like you're solid.
Thank
So you work
thank
out
you.
like every day?
I try to. I try to. I
Okay,
do.
I w-
Sometimes I'll take a break, but I do.
I wasn't really expecting to go this way with it, but now I'm all curious. What do you do for your workout? Like, give us a couple, like, what a couple of days might look like.
On Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I do a lot of squats. Lot of squats. Those are a must, or else my legs won't make it through dancing. And then I do a lot of sit-ups and push-ups and stuff. I try to, and some weights here and there. Cardio, really, I do a lot of cardio. I have to because when I'm dancing with Rebel Yell, 90-minute show, I'm dancing straight through. So that cardio has to be up and going. And when I miss, boy, I can tell a difference because
Well,
I'm
I mean,
tired.
I can totally relate to that. When I was playing 3 sets a night, so 45 minutes, 3 times, right? One after the other,
Yes.
30-minute break, just drums. And I say just drums, but drumming is, very cardio. And the type of drums that I would play when I was at the metal shop was extremely, active,
Uh, yes.
very animated and just moving around a lot and kind of doing choreography with it a little bit. I'm not,
Absolutely.
just kind of moving along with everybody, and it would wear you out, get totally winded. And I just to throw it in there, I'm playing my first gig and since August coming up this Saturday, and I'm a little scared. So you might
You got
bring
this.
bring me like a breathing machine or something. I'll meet you there. Like, dude, I gotta stay in shape. I'm gonna be doing the event workout this week. I'll be doing squats and some more squats and some sit-ups and some push-ups, and I'm gonna run like a banshee. Got the event special workout happening. That's so cool. All right, so I jumped all over the place, but I was so curious about that because I'm really getting into working out lately, and I've been using a YouTube channel called Fitness Blender, which I don't know if
Okay,
you're
yes.
familiar with them, but they are so awesome. Love them so much. I bought some new dumbbells for my birthday, so I was pretty excited about that. So I'm very into that, and I'm
Good.
also into just sharing good health with folks watching on the show right now because good health really plays so much into preventing or lowering your risk for breast cancer, as well as many other elements that you might have, be up for,
Right.
risk for, diabetes or different things like that. So it's
Yes.
always good to stay in shape and stay in good health. So I love that, huge proponent of that. But so you moved
You're
to
right.
El Paso. You're getting all your self taken care of with dyslexia and everything. So
Hmm.
what happened from that point on?
Well, I went from, D's and C's to A's and B's, and I really just worked really, really hard. Um, and I got the best help up there. I mean, they really helped me out, and I was able to, I was able to do everything I wanted to do, and you know how you have to pass your classes or no play, no pass, no
No
play.
pass and play. I remember that. Yeah.
So I had to really work hard. And I will tell you, my best 4 years were at my high school at El Paso High. And I loved it. I would do it all over again. I
That's
would do
really
it all over
something
again.
to say. I mean, I was just like, "Can I get out of here, please?" When it came to high school, I was like, "Please, I have a lot of alcohol to drink. Can I please go now?" You know, it's back when I used to drink, so I really have high respect for somebody who's like, "Yeah, love that." That's very cool, and it sounds like it was a really wonderful experience for you, for your learning
Yes.
and everything too, something that you could take with you and, be really proud of as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
So
Yes. I I I did a little bit I did some where my dyslexia would come in. I did a couple of auditions for different shows that would come out in El Paso and stuff, and my dyslexia would come in when I would try out, and we would be doing, learning a routine in the mirror. And so when everybody would go this way, I'd go the opposite way because my
oh,
brain
no! It
just
makes me
wouldn't.
sad for you. It's like, oh,
Oh yeah, but
yeah.
it was a learning experience for me, and I was just happy that I got even, to try out. And when I finally learned, okay, that you've got to do it this way, and finally embedded it in my brain, I made a cut with Club Youth, and it was awesome because I was a backup dancer for one of the singers and stuff, and we traveled here and there, just around the El Paso area. I was 15 at the time, and we did a couple of shows like announcing videos, 14's music videos and stuff like that. So I choreographed a couple of dances for like the Miss USA pageants, Texas USA, and yeah, I've done quite a few things that I'm very, very fortunate and happy that I was able to do that.
That's so cool. So I remember earlier you were talking about that you kind of had taken a break for a while. What age did you take that break before you came back again?
When I had my son.
Ah, that'll do it. That kind of takes you off the dance floor a little bit. No more solid
Yep.
gold routines with the pregnancy happening. Like I can only do so many of those, whip your arm around and do the bow and arrow move.
Exactly.
There's only so many of those. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody would take me on that.
That's awesome. So you had your
But
son, and then you were able to get back involved with dance
it,
again, right?
yep, 15 years I took a
Wow,
break.
wow, dude,
15
crazy.
years. Yes. And I was asked with the Duran Duran with JJ had asked me to come on board and do some dances for him for, Wild Boys. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I haven't danced in a long time, but yeah, okay, let's do it. So I started off there, and then I moved on to Prima Donna. I did a couple of shows with her, and then Crueligans asked, and it was funny because I really didn't want to do it because I thought of Motley Crue, strippers and poles, and I'm just like, I don't do that kind of dancing. So I was like, no, I can't dance in like lingerie and bathing suits. Until they told me,
That
no,
makes
you've
two
got
of
to
us.
watch. Yeah,
Uh,
you've got to watch the
as
new
yeah.
farewell tour. And when I saw that, and I saw that it was very tasteful, and the girls were actual dancers, and I said I can do it. So that's how it all started. And then Rebel Yell, and I've been with them for 3 years now with Crueligans, and two
Wow.
years with Rebel Yell.
Yeah, that's so crazy. You started out with like with Rebel Yell, you came out with their very first gig, so you've been playing with them since the beginning, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's so cool. And
So we
so
hit 2 years.
yeah, that's crazy. So with Crueligans, I've always been curious about this. Do you actually study any of the routines that the actual dancers from Motley Crue do and try to mimic those, or do you do your own choreographed routines?
I actually, you know what? I study the girls, and I will tweak some of their moves. And so, and like some of their outfits as well. I will make it into my own. But I will get a feel for what they do, and then I just kind of like throw in an extra arm or an extra leg, or I kind of
What do
just,
you grow a third arm?
yeah.
I throw in an extra arm. I picture like a mannequin's arm come flying. Go Yvette, you rock, man! You're so amazing. That's awesome. No, I get it. That's really cool though, because it's sort of like, as a drummer or musician, when you're playing someone else's music, you maybe don't necessarily play it precisely. You just kind of mimic the spirit of the
Yeah.
playing. So you
Yeah.
kind of are mimicking the spirit of the dancing, right?
Yes. Yes.
See, that's cool.
Yes.
That I can relate to. I am totally down with that. You haven't seen me dance, and there's a reason. So whenever I can tie us together like this, we're doing some good things.
But we've shared the stage a couple times,
We
and you've
have.
done
I have not danced. I do not dance. Do not. If I dance, we are not talking about it, dude. I'm like going through my brain. I'm going, holy crap. Did I dance with Yvette? I'm going to crawl in a hole and die right now. You make me look so bad. Because you slay, man. You really do. You are so energetic. And it's so funny. This is going to sound trivial probably, but, one of the things that I say to girls that are, I guess maybe it's because they're the only ones who ask my opinion, but to young girls who are looking to become a drummer, is I tell them how important it is to smile when you play. And you think that sounds cheesy, but watch what your face is doing when you're watching a drummer who's playing seriously, and then watch what your face is doing when you're watching a drummer smile. It
Yes.
affects you.
Yeah.
It affects you, totally does. Like when you're staring at someone who's smiling, and it's a genuine smile, you can't help but smile back, and then you're just happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's great to
Uh-huh.
be rock and roll, and I'm not dissing the whole rock and roll, because I know as rockers we have to get the serious rock and roll face happening. But those smiles go a
Yes.
million miles, man. I mean, they really do. And so that's something that I know that you bring to the table every time that you come up there, and it's such an important thing. And you hear that, like, Dallas cheerleaders or drill team and all that stuff. They're just like, smile, smile, smile. And it
Yeah.
seems cheesy, but it is really, I think, an important feature to have when you're out there on stage. I think it really makes a difference in the energy that you pass back and forth with the crowd. It really does.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny because when I watch the videos from the Motley Crue girls, the nastier habits there, and they're very serious and very, seductive and serious, and I just can't do that.
No, dude, you are a smiling machine. You're like, I'm Yvette, I'm here. Look at me. Come on, let's smile and have fun. Like, for real. No, and it really does. It really creates a lot of energy between the audience. Awesome. So
I'm
you
glad.
you've danced and performed with Wild Boys, which is a Duran Duran tribute,
Hmm.
Prima Donna, which is Prima Donna tribute, Crueligans, Rebel Yell. Is there anyone else that we missed that you wanted to plug out there?
No, I mean, there's some projects in the works that are kind of I'm working out, and I
I've
can't
heard
say right
rumors.
now.
I've heard rumors. I can't
Yeah.
say either, but I have heard rumors. So that'll be really exciting. We'll be anxious to hear about that. But you actually started singing, and I don't think you were doing the singing part from the beginning, were you?
No.
Yeah. So tell us how you got into this.
Well, Chi, of course, our longtime friend, it's really sweet of him because he believes in me, and I'm like, Chi, are you? I am not like I don't have that professional singing voice, but he believes in me and he practices with me, and he's like, well, Yvette, you're going to sing, and I'm like, okay, it's a new
Wow.
venture for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so cool. And so he got you singing in Rebel Yell, but do you sing in Crueligans too, or is it just in Rebel Yell right now?
Both. I do both.
Very cool. And
I do both.
do you do you find yourself singing more of like the chant kind of things? Girls, girls, girls. Are you like all harmonizing to all kinds of crazy stuff? Like, are you doing any of that stuff?
The harmonizing, yes, with Motley Crue, with the Crueligans, and then actual singing with Rebel Yell. I do take the part. Some of the girl, the girl parts.
Yeah, they're like kind of like an echo part or whatever. Yeah, those different. Yeah, that's cool. And so when you've had to harmonize, has that come fairly natural to you, or are you like, oh no, I need you to show me the part?
It comes pretty natural. I like to think so.
Well, I mean, that's cool because you know, a lot of people that isn't natural. I know plenty of lead singers who could not sing a harmony to save their lives. Like, there's just, it's crazy. They could be this fantastic lead singer, but they can't sing the harmony, you know? And
Yeah,
so that's actually a real talent and skill in and of itself. So that's really cool that you've started doing that. And is it
yeah.
hard to do that backup singing at the same time as your dance? And have you ever, you have to tell us about a time that like you really screwed up? I want to hear about it.
Um, I haven't yet, and I think it's just because, I really do practice a lot because I don't wanna make a fool of myself on stage, and, so I really do practice a lot and I take it serious. I'm a perfectionist, you know. So I will mimic, I will practice, I will listen, I will whatever Chi or JC or any of them tell me what to do, I do it. So I'm just a perfectionist in itself. I mean, I'm really hard on my dancers as well.
So and like that's another thing I was thinking about is like, you know, I haven't been in a band that has dancers before. Do you go to all the band rehearsals, or do you have your separate thing and you like do your routines against the recorded versions of the songs, or how does that work?
I hold practices at my house or at my friend's dance studio. And like when we have a show, I like to hold a practice once or twice a week before a show. Um, Anytime I have anything new, of course, I bring it to the table and tell them we need to practice. And so I'm always the one, I take care of the girls' side. I do all of that. The boys don't have any, the guys don't have any practice. Because, Donovan's from Oklahoma, so it's kind of hard for him to come down and practice.
Yeah. That doesn't work out very good, not at all. Yeah.
No,
Wow. Wow. So yeah, I never even really thought about that, about what that would be like. Is there any like are there some songs that you don't have a choreographed routine to, or do you have something for every song?
I have all the songs. We do 6 songs are choreographed, and the seventh song is just free for all. It's kind of a fun smoking in the boys' room song. That one's just kind of prompt to just do whatever and have fun with it. But all the other ones are choreographed, and we have 7 costume changes, and
My gosh. Is this in Crueligans?
yep, Crueligans.
Wow, 7.
7. 7
Holy
costume
cow. And
changes,
then
and
is
we'll
that
be working on the
is that your call? Like you're like, okay, I'm in charge. We're gonna have X amount of outfits, or is the band leader like, hey, Yvette, you need to do some
Nope,
costume changes?
it's my call, and just because, like I said, watching the videos and stuff and seeing the girls in different outfits, and so I kind of incorporated that into what song goes with what. So,
It's
they,
brilliant. A lot of work.
it is, I mean, behind the scenes, it can get crazy.
Girl, I
Sometimes
know.
songs will start and you're barely putting on your shirt and you're
Oh
running
god.
out.
Oh my gosh. I'd be so stressed out. So are there two girls in Crueligans? It's you and one other person, and then in Rebel Yell, is it just you and Rebel Yell, I think? Right?
It's just me. It's
Yeah.
just me, dancer and vocalist in Rebel Yell, and then I have my permanent dancer, Whitney Wilson, and then I have 2 subs.
Wow, that's
So,
good. So you rehearse with them in advance of a show
yes.
where they're covering for you, what have you.
Mhm.
That's
And I
great.
try to keep it going. I try to keep them up to date and stuff. So, and I'm always telling them, "You need to practice," because I can call you up and tell you, "Hey, we have a show on this day. Are you available?" And most of the time they're like, "Yeah, I wanna do it."
That's a good thing. I mean, that's a really important thing to have is some good subs. I want to point out, I got to read a couple of comments here. I'm not paying attention to the chat room, and I need to. So real quick, we're gonna see. So Mark Noble asked a question earlier. I'm still gonna ask it, even though he said that he realized you were a dancer after he asked the question. Do you read music at all?
No.
Okay, because he was asking a question before he realized that you weren't like a guitarist or anything like that. He was wondering how that impacted your dyslexia. That would be interesting to know, you know?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I've never, I mean, I used to sing choir, but I the notes just, up and down. I mean,
Right,
but
right.
really, I really don't.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never taken a lesson
Gotcha.
ever.
That's interesting. That was a really good question. I'd love to
That was
ask
a
that
great
of somebody.
question.
Yeah, somebody who's a musician who has dyslexia would be crazy. And Tori wanted to point out that harmonizing is not easy. So that is so true. And we need to give a shout out to Rue and Julie, who are also in the house. We got a good crowd here. Everybody's sending you some love and hearts right now. They think you're awesome, man. See, I told you. I'm like, people gonna love Yvette. All right.
I love everybody.
That's so cool. So, all right, we got you as a singer. We got you as dyslexia overcomer. We got
Yep.
dancer. You're just like a rock star. When is your next show coming up?
I'll actually be in Oklahoma, in Yukon, Oklahoma, 40 West with Crueligans on Saturday.
Is 40 West on 40 West?
Yeah,
highway
40 West.
Very cool. I've never played there before. I actually haven't played in Oklahoma in a very long time now that I think about it. But that's very cool. So how often are you playing? Are you playing like 2 or 3 times a month?
It varies because it varies. Like sometimes like I've got 3 shows this month, and then next month I only have 2, and then I'll have 1. So it just kind of varies. Last week, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I did a show back to back with Rebel Yell and Crueligans. So Crueligans opened up for Rebel Yell. And so that was a long night for me.
Wow, were you just exhausted?
My legs were done at the end. Yes, they were done.
It's so cool
I have
because
to drink a lot of pickle juice.
yeah, because you don't want to cramp up or whatever. It sucks, man.
Yes,
But it's cool to point out that people don't think about this, but dancing is great cardio too. You
it
know,
is.
it's an amazing workout, but staying in shape for that workout, yeah, that's a lot of work, man.
It
Crazy.
is. But
It's
you're
awesome.
right, eating healthy plays a big, huge part in it, like a huge part.
Well, now you're
So
gonna get me off on this little tangent. So, what is your eating strategy? Like, I have an eating strategy, but I'm curious, like, what does yours look like? Like, what things do you avoid? What kind of things do you eat?
no sugar at all whatsoever. No sugar, no bread. I can't even tell you the last time I've eaten sugar. I've stayed away from that. I eat a lot of grains and chicken and fish, oatmeal, egg whites. I've learned to like them.
I eat egg
Sometimes I
whites
get
all the
tired of
time,
it.
dude. I'm totally fine with that. Like, I'll throw all kinds of stuff in my egg whites. Like, I'll have tomatoes and spinach and mushrooms and
Mhm.
onions. Like, I do everything but cheese generally. There might be
Yep,
the one time where I'm like, hey, throw a little tiny bit of cheese. But I would say 99% of the time, there's no cheese in my eggs. It's just egg whites and a bunch of vegetables. Like, even if I
that's
go to a restaurant, that's how I order it too, you
that's
know?
what my mornings look like.
Yeah, and I eat chicken and turkey and salmon. I don't eat just
Yep.
random fish. It's only salmon. Like it's the only one I can do. I don't know why. I've tried everything
Salmon
else.
and shrimp are mine. That's so funny. Our meals are exactly alike.
Yeah. Well, you said the sugar thing, and I'm kind of screwed on that. Like when I think about me, I'm like, oh, I don't really eat sugar. I actually do. I have sugar every day with my coffee because I have a drink that I get that has probably enough sugar for the entire day in it, and it's just my morning coffee, and that's it. And then I'm just gonna admit it straight out that you know, had a graduation and a birthday a couple weeks ago, and I was like, all bets are off. And I haven't eaten that much cake in as long as I can remember. Like, I had cake every day for like 4 days, and I never do that. Like, usually somebody has cake in front of me, I'm like, I'm not gonna eat any of it. I lost my brains for a minute. I have to call my Yvette emotional support hotline next time. Yvette, help me! They're pushing the sugar on me. Get him away.
Also, I'll just tell you, don't do it. Don't do it.
I do eat bread, but like I don't just like go and have like, you know, like if you're at a restaurant and there's bread, I usually don't eat the bread that's just like, here's some bread. Or like, you know, anything like that. But I'll do like avocado toast or you know, there's some like we do this bell pepper kind of sandwich thing, like a, you know, like kind of like grilled cheese, but it's a bell pepper thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll do that.
Good.
And I do wraps a lot. Like I had a wrap for dinner, and then I eat all those healthy choice and lean cuisine things, which are probably not great, but a lot of times I'm in a hurry. So,
Yes,
but yeah.
with your schedule.
Yeah, but you know, that's the difference, man. The Yvette way of eating and working out. I'm gonna have to like, I'm serious. We're gonna have to have like a support line or something for me.
Well, I'm always here, so you can call me anytime.
I start like messaging you in the middle of the night. I'm looking at this protein bar and it has a lot of sugar. Talk me down. You're like my sponsor, my sugar sponsor. Come on, dude. That's awesome. All right, girl, I have rambled on for too long. I've kept you for too long as well. And I'm so glad you could join and talk about all of this with me. And it's been a really great learning experience to hear how you do things. And it's inspiring, you know, how you eat and you're working out. And obviously, all that you've overcome with dyslexia and dancing and always smiling, you know. So I'm really glad that you could join the show tonight. I know you've been getting a lot of hearts this evening. So a lot of love in the group out there for you, Yvette. So thank you so much for joining.
I love everybody. I love you, April. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I
girl.
really am honored to be on here and to be a part of this. So yes.
We'll have to hassle you again sometime and have you back out on the show, girl.
I'm a phone call away.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that. Danger. Thanks so much for joining, girl. We'll put this out on our YouTube channel in a couple of weeks. YouTube.com/breastcancercanstick. YouTube.com/breastcancercanstick. It'll be out there in a couple of weeks, and we'll blow it up with that. And thank you again so much for joining, Yvette. It's so great to see you, girl.
Good to see you. Much love to y'all.
Love you too. Have a great night.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody, give it up for our girl Yvette in the house. Oh my gosh, she's so freaking cool, man. Love us some Yvette. And what is